We're in the Bahamas for a competition called Carifta, which is their junior and youth athletics competition for the Caribbean. So we went there to see how are the Jamaicans and other Caribbeans producing fast runners consistently. And what we saw was fascinating. Later on in that video, we see a young man called Zano Hughes, who is from Anguilla. We met him a year ago in the Bahamas because he won the 100 meters in 10.41 at the age of 17, which is fantastic. And only this last Friday in Jamaica, he lowered his personal best to 10.12. He broke Johan Blake's 7-year-old schoolboy record in Jamaica. So
schoolboys in the Bahamas are running that fast?
Yeah, in the Caribbean, in Jamaica. So this kid, they're already talking about him potentially being the next Usain Bolt. And, you know, running 10.12 at 18, I wouldn't bet against that.
What is the story behind all of this, Bambo? I mean, school kids, 10.41 1 year, a year after 10.12. I mean, if you're running 10.12 in Nigeria, you are the Nigerian champion.
I know. And it's interesting because when you look at an athlete's career and you see the progression of their times, there's always going to be 1 year that they have a massive step up. So this boy now may run, maybe he may take another 2 years to break 10 seconds now, but he's not going to improve by 0.3 every year. If you look at Usain Bolt, the year he first broke the world record, 9.69, the previous year his best was not even under 10 seconds. So there's always a moment in time for an athlete where
you made a massive step up.
They make a massive step up, exactly. And that was what happened with Zano Hughes this year.
I mean, the track that we played just before we came in of that coach, talking about what you need to do to produce champion, what exactly was he saying? And what were your findings when you went to the Bahamas the last time?
Yeah, so, you know, we met him very briefly and we asked him, what does it take to become a champion in track and field? And he told us that there were 4 Ds, you know, determination, desire, dedication, and discipline. And he said that at any level in track and field, you need those 4 Ds to become champion. So, you know, it was really fascinating to see what they've been doing over there. And, you know, the goal of this video and the upcoming videos is to say, let's, you know, athletics may be down in Nigeria, but it's not down and out. You know, let's generate some more interest, some support for athletics, and let's show the youth in Nigeria what it actually takes to become a champion. What does it take to be running 10.1 at the age of 18? And, you know, once we can show them this and bring them along, then things will change for the better.
A lot of people are asking questions on social media, on Twitter particularly, asking how they can be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah.
How exactly can that be? Those who have ideas to contribute to what you're doing, and those who feel that they have a few things to do or bring you into helping school sports in Nigeria, because this is very key.
Yes.
If our school kids are running faster, then we have a possibility of making champions, because if a school kid in Jamaica is running 10.12, I mean, it means they're running faster. Lowering the record of Johan Blake, 7-year-old record, that means they're getting better. They're not stopping.
They're getting better, and it's ominous. If we want to find people who can step up and replace Usain Bolt and Johan Blake, they've already started doing that, so we need to get moving. In terms of how people can connect with us and support us, you know, our social media is live. We've got a Facebook page. They can reach us at facebook.com/makingofchamps.
Making of Champs.
At Twitter, at Making of Champs for Twitter as well. And if they want to email us, they can email us as well, management@makingofchamps.com. So, you know, they can contact us. We're actually launching a social media campaign this week. And we're going to be running it weekly from now until the Commonwealth Games. And essentially, we're going to be asking people to answer a question from this week's video. So after the show, everybody can go online to the YouTube page, Making of Champs, to the channel, to look at that video in full and answer the question that is put on the Facebook and the Twitter. And then the winner, there'll be a lucky winner each week that will win airtime and other prizes. We'll be starting off with airtime.
We're going to leave that for you and your Twitter handle and your Facebook page to give all the details. But let me close the show with this one. School sports in Jamaica, for example, where you've seen a lot of competitions, and the ones that we do in Nigeria. What are we not doing Because I believe we have talents in the schools as well in Nigeria. How are they structured in Jamaica that we need to copy from?
It's the same, you know, before I came on air, you guys are talking about the football and why can't we replicate what the men are doing with the women. It's the same thing I'm saying for athletics. Why can't we replicate our success in the football in athletics? If we start under 13 athletics, under 15 athletics, under 17, we will see that success in athletics.
Will increase the possibility of getting...
Certainly. Zano Hughes, when I interviewed him last year, I asked him, how long have you been running? And he said 10 years.
And that was when he was 17.
So from when he was 7,
he's been running since 7.
So we need to have that same approach for athletics that we do for football. Early, start them off early, keep them interested in the sport, train our coaches to know how to bring these kids along. You know, we need to increase the level of our coaches in Nigeria. You know, it's unfortunate to hear the news about
the story of Lee Evans.
It's really unfortunate to hear that, and you know, I wouldn't be drawn on making a conclusion until we hear some more about that. But I think you know, it also shows that it's time for us to start investing in our own local, homegrown coaches to start training these kids, because that's what they do in Jamaica and the Caribbean.
All right, to close the show tonight, let me just spend the rest of the time to look at feedback from the feedback mechanisms that we have on screen. Let me take this one that is coming from a professor from the University of Agric in Abeokuta, UNAB, Professor Tunde Idowu. He has a few things to say about the league management company, and he says that he saw a game over the weekend, the Abia Derby between Abia Warriors and Enyimba, and he was impressed with the quality of football, and he feels that the LMC are doing a good job and they should keep it up. That's coming from Professor Tunde, and that's showing on your screen. I had a wonderful time watching the derby in Abia. Nigerian football is greatly improving thanks to the LMC and the determined commitment of Sports Tonight and the crew. All right, thank you so much, Professor Tunde Idowu from UNAB for that commendation. And of course, to update you that the games at the Old Trafford and at Nou Camp have ended, and it is full-time. Barcelona 1, Atletico Madrid 1, Manchester United 1, Bayern Munich 1. So a lot and everything to play for when the return legs are played in a fortnight. That's how we have to close shop for this Tuesday. We'll be back again with more tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the night. And of course, thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.